Competition at the Invictus Games got underway this morning in Florida after last night's opening ceremony in Orlando. First Lady Michelle Obama joined Prince Harry, along with former President George W. Bush and First Lady Laura Bush. More than 500 athletes from 15 countries are participating in 11 events this week. I'm proud to be an ambassador. And Harry spent 2 years getting the games ready for America. We talked about what it means for him, the competitors, and what it might have meant to his mother, Princess Diana.
You're looking good, man. How do you know? Looking good. How the hell do you know that?
To see Prince Harry in his comfort zone, just watch him with veterans.
You doing all right? You gotta be busy, you gotta be exhausted. Right?
Yeah, I'm busy.
There's a lot of camaraderie with you and many of the men and women here.
Yeah.
How do you describe that?
No, you know what I've said to a lot of people in the past, that I view myself as Captain Wales first and then Prince Harry second. You know, I've done all this stuff. I've walked the walk, I've worn the T-shirt, I've done a lot of what these guys have done, and I've been lucky enough not to be injured. So it seemed very fitting for me to be able to use my name and status to bring a spotlight onto these individuals, create the platform, and allow them to flourish.
That platform is the Invictus Games, a competition of wounded servicemen and women from around the world. Prince Harry launched the Games from London in 2014 and admits expectations are high for their American debut.
The second time round is always harder, bizarrely. And this one has been harder. We just need to fill the seats and make sure that we create the perfect atmosphere for all the competitors.
Competitors like Navy Airman Brett Parks and Air Force Captain Christy Wise. And what are you competing in?
Track and field, running, swimming, rowing, cycling. I think I got them all.
Both athletes lost limbs, but not in action.
You expect risks in Afghanistan or Africa or flying missions, but it can happen anywhere, you know, anytime.
I always joke with people saying that I saved the government a plane ticket. I didn't have to go over there and get injured, I just stayed here.
Brett broke up an armed robbery near his home in Jacksonville.
He had a gun in his sweatshirt pocket and he fired off 2 shots. One hit me in the abdomen, the second shot missed.
Christy was hit by a fishing boat while paddleboarding.
I lost about 60 to 70% of my blood in the water. I'm so happy to be here.
Christy's recovery has been remarkable. Now back in the cockpit as an active duty pilot, she's quick to credit her family of high achievers, which includes an Olympic gold medal winning brother and twin sister who is a doctor.
When I'm in pain, I just have to survive it. You know, they're the ones who see you in pain and can't do anything about it. And so I think it's harder on their side than it is for us.
Your wife was 7 months pregnant at the time. This takes a huge toll on families.
It does. My wife's my hero. She's the greatest woman I've ever known. I didn't get to speak to her for 20 days. And I always joke and say that I'd much rather be in my shoes than hers, because every single day she thought this was the last day that she'd see me.
This was one of the main reasons for coming to Orlando. Disney World next door, all the families and friends are coming over. The kids are going to absolutely love it. I'm going to love it.
You came to Disney World. It was your first trip to the United States when you were 9.
Yes, exactly.
Do you remember?
1993, whatever the math is of that.
Yeah, I brought the picture of you, of course.
Okay, all those years ago. I tell you what, if you sit in the front, you don't get as wet by the looks of things. In that
Yes,
photo.
yeah. And you were with your mother.
Yeah, with our mother, and you know, we had happy memories. You know, it was absolutely fantastic, and it's so nice to be back here with all these guys as well.
What do you think your mother, Princess Diana, would think about what you've done here for veterans?
I'd hope she'd be, incredibly proud. I hope she'd be sitting up there having her own little party, and looking down, thinking, what we've achieved, because it's a massive team effort. What we've achieved is absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I would love it if she was here, and I'm sure she would be running around causing chaos like I intend to as well.
And very proud of you.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so.
You named it the Invictus Games, and I think about that poem, Invictus, written by William Ernest Henley nearly 150 years ago. And I want to read from part of that poem. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.
There you go.
From our perspective, the poem and the name just seem to fit absolutely perfectly.
Poetry helps capture the spirit of the games, but to see the determination of these athletes, just look at the pictures and listen to their hearts.
they want to kick the arse out of life, you know.
They want to kick the ass out
They
of
want to
life.
kick the ass out of life. Yeah.
I've never heard a Prince use that word before.
No, I know. But you know, some people back home was saying, "Oh, you can't say that word, but it's a body part." And Dave Henson stood up and the captain of the UK team and said it in London 2014. And it's you know, I would never stop saying something like that. Purely, but you know, it's that is the definition of what these guys are doing. They understand this is a second chance in life, and a lot of these guys taking part in these games should not be alive. Now that is a reason to watch. You know,
a second chance in life, and they are using it very well by competing in these games. And his passion is so authentic. It really is. I mean,
feel it.
We ran into Ivan Castro, who I interviewed 3 years ago, was a total surprise. And Prince Harry said, "Oh, look, there's Ivan." I said, "Ivan who?" And I turned around.
You go, "I know Ivan."
Ivan, and he's teasing. Ivan is blind.
Yeah, I
and Prince
remember that
Harry is teasing
interview.
and saying, "Why are you wearing a pink shirt, Ivan?" And Ivan was not wearing a pink shirt. But he teases, he plays, he's so involved. He knows many of these veterans by their first names, knows their families. It's really terrific, I think, what he's put together.
So we liked him a lot going in. We like him a lot more now.
Yeah, you can tell it's not a photo op for him, that he genuinely cares. And I love, Norah, that you showed him the picture when he was 9. I remember that shot myself when he went to Disney World with his
It's also
mom.
probably true that a lot of these people might have died on the battlefield, except for the kind of medical care we have today.
Great point, Charlie. Taken very well care of by the people in the military who kept many of them alive, and they're living strong lives today as amputees. A model for the
Go
rest
Christy
of us.
and Brett, the two that you introduced us
Yeah.
to. Very nice.
She's still a pilot,
Yeah,
flying
I like that, too.
C-17s and C-130s. Yeah.
She's our kind of girl.